A team of correspondents covering the latest developments from Tehran, near Ramallah, Baghdad and Washington, D.C., where we will start with our White House correspondent, Kimberly Halkett. So, Kimberly, first of all, a lot of messages coming out of Donald Trump there. What's the bottom line? Is he saying that he believes they're close to a deal with Iran to end this war?
That's exactly what the U.S. president seemed to be indicating moments ago in the Oval Office. While he insisted that diplomatic negotiations are still ongoing, he did say that Iran has agreed to the U.S.'s primary request or ask, and that is never to have a nuclear weapon. Now, he says the two sides are still talking, but he believes that this has been accomplished. He also said he believes that the war has been won, although he then sort of contradicted himself and said, I think we're going to end it, but I can't tell you for sure. But one thing is for sure is that the U.S. president told reporters he believes that the other goal for the United States, which was to achieve a regime change in Iran, has occurred. He argued that it is now the third tier of leaders who are also gone. And that means, given the fact that the top leadership is no longer in control, the U.S. president believes that he has achieved what he was looking for.
We've also had this line from Donald Trump about receiving a significant present. Now, any indication from anyone in the administration what he's talking about?
Well, the White House has not specified what the president was talking about. And you're right, it was very cryptic what the U.S. president was saying, and he said it more than once. What he said was that Iran had given a present. He didn't say if it was to the United States, although it was implied that was the case, and that he said it was made a lot of money, and it showed that it was negotiating, meaning the United States was negotiating with the, quote, right people. All the U.S. president would say is that this present, as he called it, or gift, was related to oil and gas, but he expressly said that he would not say what the gift was, only that it arrived on Tuesday. Now, there has been some speculation that this has to do with the sale of oil, those 140 barrels that have been stranded. We know that the Treasury Department lifted sanctions on Iranian oil on Friday, and so it may have to do with the sale of that. But again, this is the speculation here in Washington. It has not been confirmed by the White House, and the U.S. president flat out said he wouldn't tell what the present was that he believes Iran has given.
They gave us a present, and the present arrived today. And it was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is, but it was a very significant prize. And they gave it to us, and they said they were going to give it. So that meant one thing to me: we're dealing with the right people.
Is that nuclear related?
No, it wasn't nuclear related. It was oil and gas related.
One other thing we know that is taking place right now is the U.S. president says that the negotiations well and going are including the Vice President JD Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, his envoys Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, as well as the president himself. And one of the big things still being negotiated is who will ultimately control the Strait of Hormuz.
Kimberly Halkett there from outside the White House. Let's continue this and take it to the Iranian capital. Ali Hashem is standing by for us there. So, Ali, this is the second time in 24 hours that Donald Trump has been claiming he's having negotiations. Now, are we getting any reaction in Iran that is in any way different to the denials we've had so far?
Well, since yesterday, the speculations over negotiations have been denied by the Iranian government, by the Iranian Foreign Ministry, by the Speaker of the Parliament, Mohammad Baqir Ghalibaf. However, there have been sources leaking that there is already a plan or an offer on the table. And the Iranians are studying, the National Security Council, Supreme National Security Council is studying this offer, and that whenever this offer is approved, then there'll be possibility for talks in Pakistan. Now, is there a deal? Is there issues that are secret and no one knows about? that's something really we don't know about, because in such situations and such paths, the Iranians tend to be discreet as much as possible, and this is related to the secure paths to a deal, if there is a deal. Now, what could be on that deal? It seems there is a guarantee now for Mr. Trump that Iran is not going to make a nuclear bomb, but we know this long time ago. I mean, this is not something new that we're hearing for the first time. There is a fatwa in Iran by the previous or the former Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei that making and storing and researching a nuclear bomb is something haram, which is forbidden. So aside from this, what is on that list of requests and on the lists of agreement, this thing that we should actually keep watching is, are the Iranians going to give up on their ballistic missiles program, especially after the war, because in this war, it proved that it's their only defensive shield. Are they going to give up on their groups and allies in the region? This is another big question. So the big question, actually, the bigger questions are to come the more we are getting closer to the talks. And then actually everyone would be waiting to see whether there is going to be a deal and what would this deal include, and whether Israel is part of this deal, and whether the GCC countries are also part of this deal, or they accept this deal, and what's going to happen to the Strait of Hormuz. These are issues that actually aren't simple, and they need a lot to be discussed and agreed on.
Not to mention the question, of course, key question, Ali, of course, of whether they'll give up on enrichment. But maybe not related to that, is Donald Trump's claim that the Iranians have given a big present. Any indication from anyone in Iran what he's talking about, and whether the Iranians have made any sort of overture to the Americans in a way that could be interpreted as a present?
Well, Sami, at least on my side, I don't know. I mean, never heard of this, but everything is possible. This is politics, and in politics there are presents and there are transactions, and everything is transactional in life. So what might have happened, this is something that I'll personally dig, and I promise you I'll try to get you an answer. But for now, I don't know.
Okay, thanks so much, Ali Hashem there from Tehran.